U.S. President Donald Trump ordered the Pentagon on Sunday to scale back annual joint military exercises with South Korea, citing Seoul's refusal to help with the war against Iran and his, quote, very good relationship with North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un. The 11 days of exercises involving 18,000 South Korean soldiers were designed to beef up readiness against North Korean threats. The exercises are one of two main combined drills conducted by the South Korean and U.S. militaries annually, along with their springtime training. Trump lambasted the drills as costly and, quote, totally inappropriate and hostile to Pyongyang, which he said has been unthreatening and respectful during the course of his presidencies. The Republican president also indicated that he had wanted to back out of the trainings altogether, but signaled that it was too late to do so. Trump noted that South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung replied no thanks to Washington's request for Seoul to join its war efforts to, quote, denuclearize Iran, though he labeled it as somewhat unrelated to the new measure. The move is a sharp turnaround from how his administration has viewed South Korea in recent months, with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in May praising the longtime ally for its commitment to increasing defense spending. Trump has also previously sought to end the exercises in his first term following a meeting with Kim Jong-un in Singapore in 2018, calling the drills provocative back then.
U.S. actress Hayden, Panettiere, star of popular TV series including Heroes in Nashville, has died at 36. Panettiere's father announced the actress' death in a statement provided to ABC News Sunday. No cause of death has been given. Panettiere's prolific career started when she was appearing in commercials before her first birthday and later included starring roles in Remember the Titans, Scream 6 and A Bug's Life, where she voiced Dot. Her depiction of a cheerleader with superpowers in the series Heroes propelled her to universal fame. She had been open about her struggles with alcohol and depression. In May this year, she published a memoir titled This Is Me, A Reckoning. She's survived by her 11-year-old daughter Kaya with her former partner, Ukrainian boxer Vladimir Klitschko.
Wildfires are continuing to burn across several parts of Europe, with firefighters battling major blazes in Belgium, France, Germany, Croatia and Greece amid persistent heat and dry conditions. A fire in Belgium's High Fence Nature Reserve more than doubled in size over 24 hours at the weekend to around 3,000 hectares, making it the largest in the country's recorded history. On Saturday afternoon, local media reported that 600 people had been asked to evacuate in Belgium's Liège province. Authorities said more than 250 firefighters and other emergency service workers were deployed on Saturday night. Meanwhile, across the border in Germany, emergency services made significant progress in fighting a fire in the Hürtgen forest that forced around 2,000 people to evacuate on Friday. Residents were able to return home on Saturday evening, according to local German media. In Spain, firefighters continued to battle a massive blaze that has been ongoing for more than a week in Aragon's northern Huesca province. The flames are threatening a 1,000-year-old monastery. 12 people have died and at least 10 were seriously injured when a Polish tour bus crashed in northeast Hungary in the early hours of Sunday. The accident took place on a motorway when the bus, which was transporting pilgrims back from Serbia to Poland, veered into a ditch and overturned on its side. Media quoted police as saying the driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. Interior Minister Gabor Posfai announced that the man has been taken into custody. 5 of those injured were fighting for their lives, a Polish diplomat told a press conference. According to disaster management authorities, there were 57 passengers and 2 drivers on the tour bus, which was headed towards Nyíregyháza. After receiving on-site treatment, the injured were transported to hospitals across 4 different cities. Hungarian Prime Minister Peter Magyar and Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk both expressed their condolences to the families of the victims.
Overnight strikes from both sides have killed 12 people in Russia and Ukraine as long-range missile and drone attacks intensified. In Ukraine, Russian strikes killed 2 people at a steel plant in Kryvyi, with 2 more killed in Zaporizhzhia and 1 in Sumy. A popular outdoor book market in Kiev was also hit, sparking a major fire. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia had launched more than 1,500 drones into Ukraine over the past week. Meanwhile, Ukraine launched hundreds of drones into Russia in one of its largest aerial attacks since the full-scale invasion began in 2022. Russian authorities said 5 people were killed in Rostov, 2 more in Belgorod and Moscow, while a wild berries warehouse in Podolsk caught fire. Russia's military said it destroyed 822 Ukrainian drones, including 600 reportedly heading towards Moscow.
More than 290 people, mostly from sub-Saharan Africa, were intercepted on Saturday by Moroccan authorities near the border with the Spanish exclave of Ceuta, according to local media. One Moroccan official, speaking on condition of anonymity, called the intervention a routine operation to prevent attempted irregular migration. One migrant from Sudan explains that he is looking for opportunity.
سبتها مشكلة صعبة مكاش قدامة إنايا مكاش قدامة مغربي سبتها كيلي قدامة بزاف إوروبا مكاش قدامة إنايا أي فكر ناس إنايا هكا مكاش ناس لميزون مكاش فلوس مكاش قدامة مكاش لالجون كل شي مكاش والله.
On Wednesday, Moroccan authorities had announced another potential influx of migrants to Ceuta, following a new wave of online disinformation saying the border would be open. This comes 2 weeks after around 72,000 people rushed into the tiny territory, although the vast majority of them have since been returned to Morocco.
Rescue teams in eastern Indonesia say they have recovered more bodies following a magnitude 7.7 earthquake that shook the country on Saturday. Rescuers dug through the rubble, searching for those buried beneath landslides triggered by the quake across 6 regencies on Flores, a predominantly Catholic island in the country. At least 53 people have died from the earthquake, but authorities fear the death toll could be much higher. More than 900 homes were destroyed and 450 more damaged in East Nusa Tenggara province, forcing around 5,000 people into temporary shelters. According to the National Disaster Management Agency, in the Flores region alone, some 241 homes were damaged. Authorities say they have since recorded at least 995 aftershocks, but only 46 were felt by residents. Meanwhile, relief workers have begun distributing ready-to-eat meals, drinking water, blankets, and medicine, while emergency shelters were being set up for displaced residents. Indonesia is prone to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire.
The Taliban government this weekend marked 5 years of rule in Afghanistan. Taliban fighters took power on August 15, 2021, after taking over the capital city of Kabul and the withdrawal of US-led troops. 5 years later, its supporters took to the streets in celebration, while its critics denounced tightening restrictions in all areas of daily life. Women are effectively being erased from public life and now suffer the most from Taliban government measures since they took over in August 2021. A few examples include being banned from public spaces, including parks, and from most jobs, a blanket ban on playing sports, and even showing their faces or speaking outside their homes. Women are also not allowed to look directly at men they are not related to by blood or marriage, while education for girls beyond age 12 is outlawed. Although Taliban officials have forged unofficial ties with multiple countries, mostly in Asia and the Middle East, Russia is the only country that recognizes them as Afghanistan's legitimate government. In a move that was widely criticized, EU officials held a technical meeting in Brussels with the Taliban last June to discuss the return of Afghan migrants to the country.
Panathenaic Stadium has welcomed marathon runners, rock stars and the athletes of the first modern Olympic Games. Built entirely of white marble, it is undergoing its first systematic cleaning in more than a century. It was reconstructed for the first modern Olympic Games in 1896 and also serves as the site of the Olympic flame handover ceremony, including a preparation for the 2028 Los Angeles Games.
Το Καλιμάρμαρο είναι ένα μοναδικό μνημείο του παγκόσμιου Ολυμπιακού κινήματος, γιατί εδώ αναγεννήθηκαν οι σύγχρονοι Ολυμπιακοί αγώνες το 1896. Έπρεπε να καθαριστεί από όλα αυτά τα οποία έχουν συσσωρευτεί όλα αυτά τα χρόνια. Έτσι το Παναθηναϊκό στάδιο θα δείξει όλη τη λαμπρότητα.
The process requires special care as the stadium is made of the same gleaming marble used on the Acropolis, a fact that makes cleaning it a particularly delicate and demanding task. The cleaning work reveals the marks left on the historic monument by the passage of time, weather conditions and millions of visitors.
The goal of cleaning is not to make everything white, it's to remove the dirt and the first layers of organic material that is depositing on the surface. Weed and growth is something which is fully problematic for monuments because they expand, they have the tension to be bigger. In some cases they leave material that leave stains on top of the marbles.
As the work progresses, the stadium's original glow is gradually being restored. After all, it is the stadium's pure white gleaming marble that gave it its widely known Greek name, Kalimarmaro, meaning beautiful marble.